night. It is time for LOLz. Brian, I am far less hungover than I am than I was last week.
Your mic every time the first 10 seconds cuts out. I don't get it.
It only, I guess it sometimes happens on Ship Chasing, but literally never happens on my show with Spags. I guess we'll never know.
Do you simulcast with that one too?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's, I think you just have to. Thank you, CMV. Sounds like shit as always. It's a little special, treat, Easter egg for the super fans that get here early. All the Johnny come latelys, they just get our crystal clear audio. Brian, talking about some of the stuff that we were gonna, maybe do on the show tonight, win LOLz VIP package to be added to the DK Crown store.
Yeah.
What would be in the LOLz VIP package? Naked yoga watching session with Brian. Barehanded fishing session with me.
Free set of fishing gloves.
I mean, so have you legitimately looked into or like calculated, what's going on with this new DK reward system? Is it advantageous for high volume players like you? What's the deal?
I can't imagine it is. No, I haven't looked into it.
Yeah.
I guess it just gives you more crowns.
Right.
Right? Yeah. I'm assuming the cash was probably better.
Right. But and I guess is the idea with this that they're just giving you way more options as far as what you can spend them on? Because they now have this whole, they clearly have some kind of provider store that they're partnered with to do this. It's like a airline catalog or something.
I literally have thought about this for like 5 seconds. I just assumed they were trying to save money.
Yeah. But you hoard your crowns, don't you?
I guess hoard is probably not the right word. I just don't use them.
When was the last time you spent your crowns?
I really don't. Eventually it like adds up and then they email me and say, do you want cash for these crowns?
Oh, okay. The cash will just be the exact same value as if you were to use them for.
I don't know. I don't even do the math. I'm like, that sounds about right. All right, I'll take it.
So why are they so willing? Why do they want to buy you out of
Or actually, the last time they gave me sportsbook tickets.
Okay.
But it wasn't as great as I thought because it was a lot of money. It was like 12 grand or I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about this, but whatever, 12 grand or 14 grand or something. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll take it in the sports book. Why not? And then I go in and it's like whatever, 4 $2,500 tickets and 2 or 3 $1,000 tickets. I'm like, well, now I got to make friggin' $2,500 bets every time. I thought I just have money to spend that I could just spend over a year or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's 13 in one pop or 100 a time or whatever.
They Vegas Daved you. 1 Bitcoin, you can only buy 1 Bitcoin at a time. You can only make one $5,000 bet at a time.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, the thing, because you go to this store here, the new Draftkings, they call it the Draftkings Dynasty, the Dynasty store. And like the first few options, you're like, all right, we got a watch, a pool table. But then you start going through here and you're like, wow, I can just do all of my home shopping in the draft. And I mean, their inventory has to rival Amazon on here. I mean, can I get my like paper towels from the Draftkings store now? I mean,
I just bought a dishwasher. See if they have a dishwasher in there.
You bought a dishwasher?
Yeah.
Congrats, dude.
Thank you.
I want everyone for the cabin?
Dishwasher 2 words or 1?
Okay, we definitely have dishwashers. Look at this. Do you know which brand?
Yeah, I bought the Jet Air something.
Okay, Jet Air. We got Frigidaire, we got GE Stainless, we got Bosch, we got Samsung. Are you starting to regret, if you don't mind sharing, how much did you pay for your dishwasher?
$1,100.
$1,100. Now,
It was
Do
on
you
sale.
okay? Do you have like, let's say, how many crowns do you have in your DraftKings account right now?
4.2 million.
So you kind of regret not using crowns to buy a dishwasher now that you know?
No,
Why not?
because I bet a bunch of these you won't even get
What do you mean?
because everything's on back order. The supply lines are all fucked up. I went to Home Depot. They didn't have one dishwasher they could get to me. Everything was ETA, manufacturer ETA. So then I went to another place, and they had like 3 different things in.
Oh, so you were talking more about dishwashers in general or back order, not the Dynasty store.
Well, I bet a lot of this stuff is if they have all this thing. I mean,
So you're saying that the new recently launched Dynasty store is having supply chain issues?
well, where do you think they get it, Peter? Do you think
I
DraftKings
think
holds all this stuff at the
Jason
Boston
Robbins
office?
has these in his basement. He keeps an inventory of the entire Dynasty store.
Man, they're really trying to save money, huh? They're really revamping the VIP program. Like, okay, we'll get rid of the dollars. We'll keep all the inventory at Robin's house.
Oh, Brian.
No, see,
no fish gloves.
that's why they got to add the LOLz VIP package.
They do have plenty of fishing wire, though. Lots of baby toys. I mean, what an incredible way. How many people do you think have spent their crowns on this store so far?
A lot.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do all my Christmas shopping on here. Do you think I can get all of my loved ones something nice for around 92,000 crowns? I guess by the time Christmas rolls around, I would hope that I've maybe doubled this.
Yeah, looks like you can get something.
I think we could do something.
Just make sure that they have it. What's that Mars fish care? What's that? What is that?
This is...
I'm an expert angler, so I should know.
Stress Coat Fish and Water Conditioner. It replaces the natural slime coating on the skin of pond fish when it's been damaged by handling because DFS players put on these gritty gloves and manhandle the fish.
No, that protects the fish's skin. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I guess I would have to. We need to do some math and figure out, what's the market rate for this? Is there actually a markup in here to use crowns relative to the buy-in? If I were to just go enter the SPY for free with my crowns or whatever.
Well, I'm assuming that's what most people spend it on. Is they just buy tickets.
Yeah, but some people, maybe you go, this is how you go to your significant other and be like, honey, I put you through a lot. I know I've never been at dinner with you and the children because NBA lock is happening. I want you to go in here with my 4.2 million crowns and buy yourself an air fryer.
Buy yourself something nice.
Oh my goodness.
Those prices don't look that bad to me.
I know, because I mean, let's just see. Let's do a little bit of math here.
Yeah. Check one of them like a popular brand that we would recognize. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do. I mean, let's go to something.
I've never heard of Bella, but that doesn't mean much because I don't know shit about.
All right, I'm gonna do this Bella Pro Series 6-quart analog air fryer.
Yeah.
And I am seeing, okay, this is running on Amazon. I see this exact same one for $80.
Okay. And how many crowns is it?
50,000.
Really? Okay, that's not that great then. So you got about $160 burning a hole in your pocket there?
I guess so. And how much do you have burning a hole in your pocket?
I don't know. What is about 4 million? Let's see what's the coolest thing I can get.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, they have like a go-kart in here.
I saw a cool go-kart today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, like a double.
I mean,
two-seater with roll bars and stuff.
Let's see here. Toys and games. Do we not have an automotive section? Oh, there we go. Automotive.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But is this going to be just accessories, or can we actually? That's my worry here. Is that this is going to be?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian, a gas trailer, Lakeshore electric portable fuel trailer.
Click on that. What does that do?
I
You
assume
know what I could use is a boat lift.
a boat lift. Okay,
Yeah, let's see if it's got a boat lift.
Let's see here. Not looking promising.
My dad wants a kayak.
He does?
Yeah.
All right. Kayak, 670,000 crowns.
It sounds like a ripoff. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do another price check. Let's do another price check on one of these. So this I'm gonna just copy and paste this.
You think you can arb the DK store? Yeah. Like living off of it?
All right. This 380X Explorer. They want me to choose my package. Okay, this thing is running the fall sale price. We can get this bad boy for $900.
900. Okay, so I have then. How much do I have then? So I have like five, 6 grand or something, I guess. Not that much.
Now there are few packages here. There's the deluxe package. Let's make it a clean 1,000. Let's say it's worth 1,000. So if that's the case, I mean, each crown is worth what? That's pretty bad.
How much is it?
Am I doing the math right there? Hang on.
They better not ban me for this heresy.
It's not. It's not. I think it's each crown's worth 15 cents if I did my math correct.
That doesn't sound too bad. $1, of course, would be fucking awesome. No, it can't. 15 cents sounds too high.
Too high?
Yeah, because I have 4 point something million. Wouldn't that be a ton of money?
I probably did my math wrong. It's probably less than that. It's probably It's probably 1.4 cents
times 50 divided by whatever. You know what they should do? Convert crowns to ETH.
Now you're talking.
And so you get ETH as your reward, and you could spend it in their stupid store. You could spend it on the marketplace.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
This looks right.
It rivals a Shiba coin.
This is the thing too. I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, have you been following what's been going on with the ENS governance token?
Someone just told me about it. He said I should get one.
Well, I mean, you can get one. You can get a ENS name now, but you won't get airdrop the token that already happened.
Yeah, the name.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, I mean, what if your crowns were, part of a Draftkings governance token and you got to vote on stuff as
oh, that would be cool.
And then all of a sudden it would have true utility. You could have a marketplace for them. You as a whale would amass more governance tokens, which would give you more vote and more say on certain roadmap decisions. Decentralized Draftkings, Brian.
Yep. Yeah, to some extent. And then they could do like late swap. Do you want it or not? And just have the people vote with their. I'm sure some businesses are going to start getting into this for sure. Like, try to add more value. Yeah, I mean, but that would switching it to ETH or whatever. I mean, doing it I guess even on their own chain, they're big enough to do just like Flow, or whatever. Just do their own thing and then have the marketplace run on it. The crown, everything runs on it. You could buy in contests with it, and then just if you want to convert it to Bitcoin, then just go put it in your private wallet and.
I'm sure that they're with their DraftKings marketplace, which I believe runs on Polygon. I assume they already have a lot of like the interface set up to like get to that point fairly quickly.
Does it run on it, or did they just agree to it and they haven't done it yet?
I just mean their current drops that they're doing right now. Yeah.
They're on Polygon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Then do what is it, Matic? What's the
Davis Matic? Matic coin.
MATIC, the
Yeah,
name of the coin.
Yeah.
The Matic coin. Does he even own any Matic coin?
He should for the brand.
Yeah, he should, just for the brand, yeah.
I found out today that Davis dumped all of his ENS tokens.
He said half. I saw that.
No, so it was on Twitter, he said half, and then apparently between when he said that and when we did the Swolecast, he dumped the rest.
How much money did he make?
Good chunk. Yeah, I think he had probably like, depending on where he sold it at, I would guess he made well over an Ethereum on it, just like a free airdrop, which is pretty insane. That, you know, depending on how long you had it registered for, when you registered for them, how many you had. I mean, people were basically being gifted anywhere from, you know, 1 ETH to 4 to 5 ETH in value. And I mean, it's the price is absurd on it. It's at like $80 a token right now for a free airdrop. So,
and do you get to keep the ETH name?
Yeah. Yep.
So he gets to keep his Matic.eth or whatever he decided?
Yeah.
You sold the token?
Right. So he just sold the token. So the tokens just means now you don't have the governance rights over the thing, but you own that domain name for however long of a period that you agreed to. So some people could buy it for like a year or 3. It's very similar to buying a DNS.
GoDaddy?
Yeah.
So you could buy that and then just immediately sell the token and then have your name for a year.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is like I had bought mine back in, I think, March in April, and I had no idea that there was a token coming. I think that popped up relatively recently, that they kind of got that pulled together. But everyone, what's that? No, I was just going to say it. It's just an interesting, because there's so around both OpenSea and also Top Shot, there's all this kind of talk about when's OpenSea going to do a token, kind of like this combination, like rake back type, you know, token thing, where I feel like now we've entered into the era where crypto people almost feel entitled to getting these, you know, airdrops for being power users or early adopters of these products.
It would be cool getting like gas fees back, like a portion of them or something, as if you start like an OpenSea competitor, that could be something that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's and I know this is definitely not, this is the first one that I've received that's been of anything of value, but I know a lot of the people, there was the Uniswap one, there's been a few of these other DeFi protocols and stuff that have done pretty substantial, you know, free airdrops where people have, you know, basically,
Don't you think I'm even more bullish on crypto lately, but don't you think that kind of like the shitcoin, I don't know, meme is, obviously there are a bunch of shit coins, you know, everyone knows pretty much which ones they are. They're pump and dump ones and stuff.
Yeah.
But isn't it kind of hard to say like shitcoin for a lot of these things? You know what I mean? Like Sol and I don't know. There's a few other ones, but like those ETH tokens, like they're starting to have like a lot of utility. Or like Flow is basically like a business's chain, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
You know, with it's not all. And then like Binance Coin and like the exchanges coins and Crow and shit like that. Like a lot of them have utility now. Like it's tough, and just generally speaking too, like with all the interest that you can get now, like just either staking or holding, depending on what route you're going, or farming or whatever. It's hard for the value to really plummet. You know what I mean? Like to whatever, nothing or something like that. Like that fear is kind of going away from me.
No, I agree. And I think it's also a good reminder of, you know, we had the ICO, you know, boom that came out of that first, you know, big Bitcoin Ethereum bull run back in, what was it, 2017. There was all the shitty ICO vaporware projects that had no utility whatsoever. People were just forking code, slapping it on a website with a little bit of marketing and a bullshit white paper, and people were speculating on it.
Yeah.
And then it seems like a lot of, they always talk about these developers and stuff go to work during winter. And like we're seeing kind of the fruits of some of these coins and protocols and stuff that have actual utility. And I think we're
Right.
seeing now a similar thing with, now you see so many shitty NFT projects come out and all of this stuff. And it's like, probably in 2 years, we're going to see some pretty revolutionary projects that like figure out how to continually give value back to their holders and stuff like that. I think once the ideas get out there, people copy it in a really poor, short-sighted way, but a lot of people are going to use that to actually build interesting stuff.
I also like the idea of competitors now more so, where that was more of a maxi maybe 5 years ago or 6-7 years ago, where if some governments try to crack down, like we have ETH, so like let's say they try to crack down on Bitcoin or something, it's like, well, we'll just go to ETH, who cares, fuck you, what I mean? Like obviously they could just do all crypto, but that's getting increasingly hard, you know what I mean? So I just like that there's alternatives just in case. I still love Bitcoin obviously, but so yeah, I'm even though we've had a little crash here, what are you gonna? I mean, that shit happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I think the ecosystem's pretty good right now.
Well, and I know I don't know, maybe I can't keep track of time, but I know you're still, or last we talked about your kind of general midterm crypto outlook. It was, being a little worried about regulation stuff. Is that still on your radar or less so now?
I think that's still inevitable. I think DeFi is probably next, and that'll suck. And any regulation, I think, hurts. I do not like this, like, establishments, CNBC of like, no, good, some regulation will be good. It's like, yeah. Maybe right away something could like be beneficial, but in the long run, it'll get taken over by special interest groups, as every single regulation does. And it'll hurt us. But like, as far as them coming at us hard, I'm definitely like a little bit less and less worried about that every few months. But like the government's slow to react to stuff. Very slow to react to stuff. These guys don't know what the fuck's going on. And if the establishment, the corporate media decides to come after us, come after crypto or crypto bros or whatever, there could still be some problems ahead.
Yeah. And I do. It is interesting with, back in 2017, like we were literally at Thanksgiving dinners and our random uncles were talking about Bitcoin because they heard about it on the news. It was like every hour on the hour, people were talking about it. I feel like the NFT hype cycle that we had a few months ago didn't quite reach there. Like, yeah, CNN did a piece about Beeple, but like my uncle wasn't, asking me about NFTs. Mm-hmm. I wonder how that works too with, you mentioned the DeFi stuff, because I do think that is ripe for regulation, but what will it take to, launch that into the mainstream consciousness?
I don't know, but that's like two things you kind of said there. What will it take to go mainstream, and will the government care? Because like the NFTs, definitely there is some rug pulls go right. Like there is, sure. And listen, I say it's the Wild West. Let's play ball. I've had the rug pulled on me, and fucking 20 years ago, poker sites going under, blah blah blah. It's just the way it is. You make more money that way, anyways. But yeah, if the wrong people get burned,
right? Maybe
NFTs go on the radar. But I mean, like, it's just art or collectibles or whatever, So like, I don't know why they would get involved, but
that's a good point, because there was the meta here for a while with the NFT projects where all of them were doing the staking with your NFTs, which then actually gets you into the murky, like DeFi territory. Are these things, securities and, all of this stuff. And I do think that's the thing that would get them. And there was even rumors that, are these projects going to get delisted from OpenSea because of the staking that they were doing with them, where it's leaving your OpenSea account. Like, you are giving the NFT back to the protocol hosting it to stake it there, and then earning tokens in exchange for that staking. And I think that gets into actual kind of legal gray area for if that's allowed, or if OpenSea wants to be party to that.
Yep. Yeah. There's definitely that type of stuff that can go. I kind of think of it. That's an interesting one. I was kind of thinking of it more of two ways. Like the initial one, especially all the original crypto bros, like who hated the Fed and all that stuff, is like the banks will come after us or after crypto, or the Fed bank, just like they'll convince the government like this is going to hurt our money printing, program. We got to stop it.
Yeah.
And like that stuff is starting to waver. And like, so I would say like the most likely path for regulation is kind of like how every industry happens, just like DFS or even crypto is like they get in, they're a motivated company, they do well, right? Then eventually they make a ton of money, and then they just start wanting to shoot rockets into space or go fucking do something else, and they don't care about it as much, and it starts to decline. And instead of coming back and trying to be the best company in that sector you can, you use the state to moat off your competition and advocate for regulations and shit like that. You see this with Facebook, right? And like people, I don't know if you saw like that Facebook whistleblower. Like a lot of people people are saying like this is public knowledge. Like this is clearly just like a play to get regulated so you can moat off your sector, your social media sector. So like I could see that happening. So like, these small companies, eventually they'll get bigger. They'll get in there. A bunch of people are going to get rich. The exchanges, Coinbase, what's the other one? FTX or whatever. Yeah. That guy's like 26-year-old, he's got like billions of dollars. Eventually he's going to want to go do charity or something. I think he's into that right now anyways. The company's going to do worse. And the best way, to hold on to your power is to use the state. And so like that, like we'll still have it, and it'll still be good. But instead of getting 6 to 12% interest rates, you'll be down to 1 to 3 or something.
Yeah. A question like this, it reminding me of our early LOLz days. We'd be talking about random shit. So it would be like, how much Victor Hovland should I have tomorrow?
Yeah, especially on some of them were way like nothing to do with.
So we do have another actual business item for the show today, and DraftKings has been putting out more of these championship series videos. So I thought we should maybe take a look at some of these here.
Oh yeah.
I actually haven't seen the most recent one. I was saving it to watch live on the show.
I did. I wish I could have saved it, but I was too interested.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a super laid-back attitude. He loves to have fun. He's got a real distinct laugh. Look at that.
Who is that? Who's that other guy in the video?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you.
Okay. I didn't know who. I was like, is that another DraftKings player or is that a DraftKings employee? I wasn't sure about that.
I don't know. Anyone?
If anyone can help.
I was thinking DraftKings employee, like the guy who's doing the whole show, whatever this show is going to be.
Yeah. Let's see here. And maybe not all of these have gotten tagged. Okay. Here's our big T one. We also need to see the one from the group one from Miami or wherever they were.
Hey, what's up?
What? That's all there is to the video? Can we get a little bit more of a tease here?
By the way, the acting by Big T.
Hang on. Let's watch how long Big T lets this phone ring before paying attention. This is how locked in he is.
You can see that smile, too. He's just trying not to laugh.
Hey, what's up?
And the thing is as a hook, like we need something of intrigue here, right? You need something of like, you're kidding me. right? Like we need something. Just, hey, what's up? Yeah, I'll bring home the pizza for dinner. Yeah, these are the short ones. There, yeah, Jake, we're gonna watch the. Oh, where did it go? Did I lose it? Let me go back to the Draftkings. Brian, do you feel jealous that you're not in the Chasing the Goat series?
No.
All right, here we go. Here's the whistles.
Goats. You guys know what sound? I don't know what sound a goat makes.
So David, your sound is woo, woo, and my sound, the new sound should be.
Brian, who are these guys?
I have no idea.
I mean, this is wild. And I assume that was shot in Miami. I mean, are these his friends? Are these fellow adjunct professors?
They might be. I thought initially I thought it was his family.
I need to find the first one. Where's the long one when they were in Miami?
It's on Big T's.
Someone send me the link if you have it.
It's on Big T's for sure. Did I? You know what? I go to mine because I retweeted it.
Okay.
It was.
Let me see here.
Yeah, it's not that far down on mine.
Why did CSU deleted the tweet you quote retweeted?
I know he did.
Why? It didn't seem like it was seemed pretty harmless.
I don't know.
Oh, also we do have to talk. Okay, we'll show your Photoshop. We'll show your Photoshop after.
All right, that's not. I mean, it's my idea, but I didn't.
No, I know. Brian, trust me, I know that you didn't Photoshop.
I'm an MS Paint guy, you know.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So this is like the full trailer for it here. Let's go back.
Some people might call me the Michael Jordan of fantasy, and I'm not going to argue with that. When all is said and done, the whistles go, woo!
Awesome-o, you've been number one for multiple years now, but I'm coming for you, buddy. Let's go!
I am like a little worried about the full length, just, based on the amount we're getting in the teasers. I'm just wondering how much footage we have.
These are the best bits.
Well, that's it. A lot of times you see the best, funniest stuff in a movie trailer, right? And then you go see the movie and you're like, oh yeah, I already saw the best. And I'm like, so if this is the best, we might be in trouble.
What is the premise?
So my guess is the premise, and maybe we should be fair. We talk about on this show, they need to do a better job turning these guys into characters, but I feel like we need more character building with these. I feel like we know these guys because we've talked to them all on the show and we're friends with them. But the average person, DFS player that doesn't know these guys, I don't know if they know much more after watching that clip.
Yeah. No, you're right. We do. We can't say do more stuff and then they do stuff. But it is. It's tough to tell exactly what's going on here.
It is. I mean, I do like the concept. I saw a clip where they were racing each other on the beach, so maybe that'll make the full length. But I'm also just confused. Like, what is this a series that's coming out? Like, I guess we could just message our friends and ask them, but I'm just now realizing I don't know what this is leading up to.
No, you can't. It's like reading to the end of the book. We gotta wait.
Yeah. They do have us intrigued though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They have like 10 dudes intrigued.
The one thing I will say I didn't like is I don't like let's go being turned into let's goat.
Oof.
I think I'm out on that.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff angers me.
I did. So I was mainly watching the video, but when Whistles did his woo, I had to look over and see your facial reaction, and you were still just as pissed off as I thought you'd be.
that one, yeah. The emotions I felt from that one were anger, frustration.
So what would it take for you? Because you clearly could be involved in stuff like this if you wanted to.
No, they'd have to invite me in.
I know, but I'm saying even if they invited you, I'm guessing you would say no.
Probably. I don't know.
I mean, that would be great. You should be there. We need because there is something, this crew, it's a motley crew, and I do think Brick 75 would round out this quartet really nicely.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Like, okay, we're gonna act like we're playing poker in the pool, and then I go, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, then that ruins their whole show.
Yeah, I mean, the most interesting thing, honestly, as a consumer, like, here's an example. We were talking to CSU last night, and he was telling us that he was at the Nuggets game in the suite with some of his poker friends, and they were playing high stakes dice games throughout the whole time. Like, I would watch footage of those guys gambling absurd amounts of money while the fucking Nuggets game is on in the background. Like, I want to see honest interactions between Whistles and Big T. I want to see them betting on shit in an organic, unforced way. I would actually be captivated by that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'd watch. I'm gonna watch this either way. But I mean, yeah, they could make. I bet a lot of that stuff guys don't want to show though.
Yeah. I do feel like with this kind of stuff, you do either have to go overboard with it. Like I did poker night in America thing as Mans way back in the day with poker player Olivier Bousquet, and we were in Philadelphia, and we did this like Rocky training montage thing, up on the steps where Rocky did it, and just completely going overboard as he trained for his thing. Or you just want it to be like true reality TV, like super organic or whatever. So I'm still hopeful that we're going to have some good footage in here. They clearly were following these guys around to lots of different places. So hopefully there's some gems in there.
Was that when he was training for his fight?
No. So this was after the fight.
Yeah, I was going to say that fight was a while ago.
Yeah, I met him when they were doing that heads up match. It was the King of the Hill, and so like Helmuth did it, Jungle Man did it, Dan Coleman, and Mans was like the MC / host for it, and so we were just doing bits and shit.
I gotcha.
But yes, at this point, Brian, part of, you were always, before LOLz, you were a successful high stakes DFS player. You had a modest Twitter account, but now I think you are more of a personality within the DFS community because you're on camera every week. I think you need to be both open and maybe self-advocate for yourself to be part of these kind of shenanigans going forward.
Okay. Why don't you do it?
They don't want me. They don't want someone who plays, 4 entries in the SPY each week, Brian. They want the big boys, the guys who have 4.2 billion crowns in their account.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they just want Big T. Whistles goes woo. It does feel like Whistles goes woo is, I don't know, an FBI plant. Right, where they're pumping them up artificially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is interesting as because he is pretty, the difference between, Alex and Big T are on shows constantly for their business, whereas Whistles, like, we had to pry him out for an interview. The only other, I think, DFS appearances he's made outside of official Draftkings one was our show, right? Like, I can't think of any other things he did.
Yeah, you could highlight Matt's comment there. I think that says it pretty well here. Definitely a Fed.
He's a Fed.
Yeah, like all his advice is, Whistles go woo, and go long. take chances, right? Clearly a Fed.
Yeah.
You know that Fed meme? Like if you put sunglasses on him, he might fit in there.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. I just had okay, hang on. I just had to do this screenshot here. I mean, is this a Fed?
Yes. Look at the suit.
Do you think he is just quietly, amassing all kinds of intelligence on the DFS community? Is that your theory?
That's a good question. That's probably part of it. Like it's like the Fed is, or the FBI, they're probably dumb as fuck. They don't know what DFS players are like. So they think this is what they're like. Like, go act like this. This is probably how they act. Right? So it's like a bad cover. It's not even a good cover.
Now what I really want is like a Mindhunter style show where Whistles Go Woo is the investigator who's going to interview and get inside the minds of all these DFS sociopaths.
Wait, didn't Big T support Trump?
I believe
I'm starting to piece this together. If Go Sixers Go starts showing up in these episodes, right? Maybe they're going after like the head of the QAnon guy. No, did you know? Yeah, I mean,
I could see
anything's possible here.
All right, I'm trying to come up with ideas because we can't just make fun of stuff for pitting these DFS pros against themselves. Tell me if this idea would be fun or interesting to you. So one of the fantasy leagues I'm in this year that I'm enjoying is a Guillotine league where every week the lowest scoring team is axed and their players get thrown back in to the pool. What if there was a DFS Guillotine league among the top pros and each week the lowest score then couldn't play the next week? So every week you set, and so your contest is going from a 50-man to whatever. You could have more than one person get eliminated. And we got to sweat you and Osimo and Whistles and Big T in this weekly tournament where you guys were actually competing against each other. The stakes were high, but it was still kind of fun and some game theory to it.
It's not bad. I like that idea for season long. That's what you play, huh? Guillotine League?
I'm just in one of them, and I realized it captured the attention far more than basically any of my other leagues. Like I really enjoy the strategy of it.
Then you don't have to worry about guys setting their lineups.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is you got to do a lot of manual stuff, right? Because then you have to go in there, delete his team, or just release all of them or something and put in dummy players. I don't even know what you do.
Yeah, well, so the Guillotine element for the DFS version, there wouldn't be the like players getting released back in. I was just thinking of this idea of one person getting eliminated each week, because I do think from a DFS perspective, it would be interesting because if you had the prize pools, obviously you're trying to get first because there's a top heavy prize or whatever, but then you're also trying to survive. So some people might be more willing to play it conservative with higher floor plays to make sure they're not axed out. Like if DraftKings put up the prize pool for the whole season or whatever, or I don't know, something like that. I'm just trying to think of things. How could we facilitate or make more interesting this stuff?
They could, rip off ideas from reality shows, Survivor and stuff like that. They could make a DFS show for sure. And just put it on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. Right. You're not understanding what we're trying to accomplish here.
This isn't about
that.
GTO.
We are trying to, in the same way poker is always trying to increase the game of poker, we're trying to make DFS fun and exciting for new people and interesting. And the personalities are what drive that.
Speaking of that, we don't have to go to this because we're not done with this idea, but that sports betting championship happened.
Yeah, who even won that? I heard nothing about it.
Some dude, I wasn't familiar with him, and he made like 4 bets. Grant took third from Roto Grinders, Grant Neefer.
Oh, dude, do you know what's so funny about that? He messaged me last week. It was like after our show, and he asked me if I was in the sports betting championship, and I assumed he was asking that because we talked about it on the show or whatever. And that wasn't why he asked me. The reason he asked me is he goes, "There's someone in here with a username Peter Mans 123, and I figured it was you." So he got third. That's awesome.
That's crazy. So when someone did a man's
It was with an S, but it is it was.
Oh, okay. So that is a kind of common name, actually.
Yeah. But sorry, what else did you hear about the contest? I know they were having some issues, right?
Yeah, I don't know all the details. First was there was going to be a lot of overlay. I didn't look and see what the final overlay was. I don't know if anyone who's watching right now knows what the overlay was. So I texted RBX. I'm like, if there's a lot of overlay, you should probably enter this, even with like the collusion possibilities.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why don't you go in half with me or something? I'm like, okay, let me email my rep just to make sure it's kosher. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm not going to, whatever, because I don't really care. So,
Yeah.
So I email him, and then he had to email their team, and they were like, no. So like they were like really locking down this year. And I'm like, I'm not, he's entering it and entering the picks. Like, I'm just going to give him, my thoughts or whatever. And we're going
to, because the worries of collusion aren't two people putting their heads together for picks. It's two different entries in the same contest, and you weren't going to be in it separately.
Yes. Which makes me think that they don't have a like games sports betting expert anywhere on that panel or whoever's running it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have like someone who used to play a lot. They're just like, it sounds risky. Let's avoid it. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like, this is not that controversial.
So did RBX88 end up doing it solo?
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
So one guy won it. I'm trying to look through this. I saw the tweets here. One guy won it with just placing like 4 bets or something. And what he did, like, he was just doing parlays.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So 4 bets total is what took it down for him?
Something like that. It wasn't a lot.
Wow.
And I think he just got up and then stopped. And like, it was a lot of money because Grant won like 100 and something, like 120 grand just in his bets.
Just in his bets. And then had the prize pool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the prize pool was another 150 or something for third place. So
that's a sick score. Congrats to Grant.
Yeah, he won a lot, but I'm not finding that tweet. But yeah, the guy just did like some like 4-man parlays, hit a few of them. Like I think he made I don't know. It was like 5 bets, lost 1, something like that. I don't know. But
Jeremy said he hit $100,000 parlay.
Yeah. So like, what a stupid event. And then so like the big controversy was they let a bunch of limited players enter. And then they couldn't bet. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah. Right, so, because they were still restricted by whatever the default limits were within the sports book.
That's right.
Where so they basically need like a safe haven section of the sports book for these contests, right? Where everyone starts on a level.
Well, I guess, but it also just goes to show like you can't run a sports betting world championship when you won't allow guys to even bet on your platform.
Right.
It sucks because we want them to go in this direction.
Yeah.
But they were using Kambi for a while, and Kambi just limits players all the time as their odds provider. And so like they just had a whole bunch of people limited. And I'm assuming they're still going to limit people. Why not?
Yeah.
And then the sports betting championship in this whole direction is like a big, thorn in their side if people complain about it all the time, the hypocrisy of it. And then, so I guess what ended up happening was they paid out. So we should have entered. So everyone got their 10K back.
That's what Alex is saying here. Yeah. We should have.
Yep. It was a free roll. So I was like, God damn it. But I'm not going to enter if they're not going to give me the go ahead then.
Right.
Because then it's like, okay, I'm not even going to risk it. I don't want to fucking have DraftKings.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a way to make that event work, even if because the baseline idea there is very cool if they can just figure out the logistics.
Yeah, and then they got to expand it to more states and then come up with a daily version of it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what scares me is like if you can't get me emailing my rep, this simple request that we could have done, obviously, like at a poker tournament in the bathroom, like, hey, you want to split it? Yeah. Okay. Then you go back to the poker table. Like, we could have done it, but like, I'm trying to do it above board because I want to talk about it for content. And and they're like, they don't even, it doesn't even cross their mind. It's like, okay, well then how are you going to come up with a cool system if you can't even wrap your head around that simple gambling thing that's been happening for thousands of years?
And the irony of it is they view that as more public optics of, oh, two people doing it together.
Right.
And even though the actual issue is the non-public stuff of actual collusion that isn't being talked about, you would not get on a show and brag about your collusion.
And then look, think of this. So that Friday night or whatever, they say that they're going to refund everybody. Well, now if you're in first place, you got to be like, God damn it.
Right.
Because now everyone, like, they don't even care about protecting their losses at all. Because like somebody could have had like 50 grand and been like, oh, do I want to bet this 50 for a small chance of getting up to, second place?
Well, yeah, it'd be
But
like,
oh, I'll get 10 back automatically. All right, fuck it. I'll do it.
yeah, it'd be like being in the main event, World Series of Poker, $10,000 buy-in. And after the first couple levels, they say, hey, there's this big error with our system. This is a free roll. Everyone's getting their 10,000 back, but the prize pool's intact. They deal the next hand, and the guy under the gun just shoves all in, and you look down at pocket queens. And you're like, fuck, right? Like I have no clue what this guy's doing because he just got a complete free roll on this. He could just be jamming with anything.
Right.
Like, it just completely ruins the integrity of the game.
Yeah. So that was establish the run is spamming our chat.
The thing is so many people have access to that establish the run. It could be, I guarantee it's not Levitan. I know Leone has access to that. It could be Steven who works behind the scenes. I don't know. It could be anyone over there on their reveal. This is like we sometimes in Club Top Shot will have the no dunks guys come on, and I don't know. I'm like, is this Trey? Is this Skeets? Is this Jay? Who is this here? Yeah, hopefully they can figure that stuff out. I do really think the problem is just how much, interest they have in that kind of community and personality building within that world. Obviously they have a little bit of interest putting together, those video things. And it seems like once a year they do a couple things like that. But I guess where we get disappointed is just kind of the resources and the access they have. They could really do some really, really sweet stuff. And ultimately circling back to like, why do that stuff? I mean, it's to make DFS look fucking cool and fun and like aspirational of like, this could be you, if you won the big tournament or if you became a pro or played really well. And it is like a cool lifestyle. Like people want that. And so it shouldn't be that hard to tell those stories in an interesting way that are attractive for more casual players.
And that is what seems like what they're doing with the GOAT programming. And they picked three good people, honestly. So like you got Alex, I'm assuming he's going to be the GOAT. And then you got like a professor and then, a dude from Kentucky, right? Chasing the GOAT. So you can be anybody.
Yeah.
Right. And Neil says in my chat that the jovial old Israeli guy talking was Whistle's dad.
Oh, okay.
Israeli American. I was thinking Greek, but
see here just again. I mean, not to go all actually storytelling on you, but we got to get a little graphic down there that says Whistle's dad because all of a sudden that goes for. I'm like, oh, these are fucking random dudes at the diner.
Right.
He's sitting. I'm like, okay, now I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, like they sat, like the owner came to sat down with him for some reason or something.
Yeah. And what was there even? I forget. Was there a live final that they were at for that, or was that an event just to record that stuff?
I don't know because it says the NFL champion, but the NFL championship's not for a while.
Yeah, isn't it the Super Bowl or whatever? Or not?
No.
Or not the Super Bowl, isn't it?
No, it's whatever, weeks 15 or something.
15, yeah,
right? Something like that, 14 or 15. So maybe they flew him down there to film early.
Okay.
You remember 2 months, 2 million?
Yeah.
I love that show. So bad, but so good.
Yeah, who was in that? Was what name was it? Was it Mike McDonald? Was he in that house?
No, it was Danny Stern. I might get these wrong. Danny Stern, Brian Roberts, I think was the other guy's name, and Galfond.
Okay, yeah. The only one I know is Danny Stern because when I played in a couple World Series events as Mans, probably 2018, Danny Stern was at my opening day table.
Oh yeah, I played against him a decent amount. I played against Roberts on I think UB a decent amount. If it's the same guy, there was a meme or a GIF of him dancing from that show that was really popular for a while. I haven't seen it in a long time, but yeah, he was doing some serious dance moves.
Yeah. I mean, it's now the other thing too is the DFS, cohort. It skews older, as far as that, like where if you could get, a house like that, I assume all those guys at that time that show was recorded. I mean, those were what, like mid-20s, everyone was pretty young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
whereas now
probably like 25.
Osmo and Whistles and Big T aren't leaving their families and wives to go live in a house and shoot a reality DFS show.
Wait, this guy's saying Krantz and Emil, they weren't on there, were they? There was only 3 guys, right? Galfond for sure, Stern for sure, and that Roberts guy for sure. That was so long ago. Maybe my memory is wrong. I don't think Krantz was on there.
Here we go. It was Krantz, Danny Stern, Brian Roberts, and Emil Patel. Yeah.
Oh, so they had more people.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was only 3.
Yep. There were 10 episodes shot. The goal was 2 million, but their winnings totaled only 676,000. G4 TV decided not to renew the show for another season.
It's how different the world is. December 2014. Like you would never do that on TV now. You would just do your own thing.
Or as a web series or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not to launch us down a whole other conversation, but that's my thing with like SNL these days, which I don't watch it, but they have very talented people. And it's not that I don't watch because it's just like doesn't fit into how I consume television anymore. And they try to like pigeonhole their talent into this old framework for like 1960s style comedic television, where it's like, if you just let Kyle Mooney make fucking sketches and release them on the internet whenever he pleases, I would consume those and love them. But they make these guys do topical comedy within this old concept. It's just like, what are you doing? You have the talent and resources to adjust with the paradigm shift. Like you said, that show would be so different today than it would be guys live streaming and then them cutting up clips and highlights from that or whatever.
I think Shane Gillis is a perfect example of what you're talking about here. Because he got, fired before he started there, and he's got his own skits he does, and they're hilarious. Like I bet his skits for SNL would not be as funny as the ones he does already just by himself.
No.
Without the whole team and the millions of dollars in production and whatever. I bet these would be funnier. Obviously you can't prove it, but
and SNL is brutal on, the how people are able to grow within the show. I mean, some of the most talented people, just because they don't fit, like there's a lot of, from what I've read, kind of social engineering in there too, there's games within a games. It's not just how funny you are. And like Tim Robinson, who's like one of the funniest guys on the planet, flamed out at SNL because he just wasn't a culture or style fit for them. And then he went and he's made some of the funniest television ever. So they have this weird kind of old school mentality there where I think they're missing out, because they could really be on the bleeding edge for, new comedy. And they're just kind of like, no, we'll just do what we've always done.
Yeah, no, it's all that legacy stuff. It's dead. It's dying. Apparently the ratings are pretty good, as far as ratings go now. Like a lot of people don't watch TV. It just surprises me. I'm not gonna fucking watch it. Like, because you can catch any of the good ones on Twitter. Someone will post it eventually.
Yeah. That's how I basically have my own thing, where it's like my friends will text me a sketch, or I think you mentioned, I don't know if it was you or someone will be like, oh, watch this sketch. And they're like, oh, I'll catch the one good sketch, because if it bubbles up to the surface, then I'll hear about it. All right. we are going to shut this down. And thank you for tuning in to LOLz as always. Someone, I believe it was in the Discord, was asking about brick75.com, getting signed up over there. Make sure you do. Brian, any other plugs for you tonight?
Nope. I put PG up ownership for free for tomorrow if anyone wants to check it out. And we'll have a pod up in like an hour.
Sounds good, guys. I am headed over to ship chasing here in a few minutes. We're going to have Mike Leone on if you guys want to talk fantasy football, all that good stuff. We have a high stakes team in the NFC contest. I believe it was a 5K entry that we're in first. So we're going to talk about that, see if we have a chance to take that down. We will be back next week. Maybe we will get one of the GOATs on the show again soon to talk about behind the scenes to know how the sausage got made, Brian. That might actually be fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, the first episode comes out tomorrow, so maybe next week.
Maybe next week. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.